Imagine being a millionaire, not just wealthy, but truly rich, owning a hotel empire with millions in the bank. Yet instead of living in luxury, you decide to go undercover. You check into your own hotel pretending to be a regular guest, invisible to everyone around you. And then, unexpectedly, you hear 3 words from a staff member that freeze you in place. Words that force a deep reconsideration of everything about your business, your employees, and your policies. This story begins in a bustling city where luxury hotels cater to thousands of guests every day. Behind the polished lobbies, the sparkling floors, and the concierge services exists a workforce that is often unseen. Housekeepers, also called room attendants, are responsible for cleaning, organizing, and maintaining the rooms guests enjoy. Their work is physically demanding, repetitive, and essential to the hotel's daily operations. The millionaire in this story, referred to here as Mr. James, owns multiple 5-star hotels. Over decades, he built his empire from the ground up. Despite his success, a nagging question persisted. He wondered whether his employees truly felt valued. He questioned whether the company culture reflected the respect he thought he offered. He decided to find out for himself by experiencing the hotel from the perspective of a guest. Mr. James checked into his own hotel under a false name. He booked a standard room, carrying a small suitcase and dressed plainly. His goal was to observe without influencing the environment, to see how the staff behaved when they believed no one important was watching. The hotel was busy. Guests came and went, each with their own demands. Housekeepers moved quickly from room to room, cleaning efficiently. They responded to guest requests, organized supplies, and maintained order with professional precision. Everything appeared normal. Yet Mr. James knew that small details often reveal the deeper truth about a workplace. On the second day of his stay, he focused on the housekeeping team. He observed them in the hallways, noting the pace, the precision, and the fatigue visible in their movements. Then, a seemingly ordinary moment occurred. A maid, a black woman performing her daily tasks, muttered something under her breath. He wasn't supposed to hear it, yet the words reached him clearly. 3 words. They don't care. Those 3 words stopped him. They were not addressed to him personally, but to the management, the policies, and the culture that the employees navigated daily. The maid was voicing what she and her colleagues felt silently for years. The words were simple, yet they contained layers of meaning. They reflected frustration, exhaustion, and the sense of being undervalued. Mr. James watched quietly, absorbing the weight of those words. He recognized that they represented a perspective rarely considered at executive levels. Employees on the front line experienced the business in ways that reports, meetings, and spreadsheets could never fully capture. The maid's words revealed systemic issues. Low wages, long hours, physical strain, emotional labor, and lack of recognition were common experiences. Public praise and glossy brochures could not compensate for the feeling of invisibility. Employees could perform their duties flawlessly, yet still feel unseen. The disconnect between management intentions and employee reality became undeniable. This moment highlighted a critical truth. Companies often measure success by financial metrics. Occupancy rates, profit margins, and guest satisfaction scores provide one perspective, but employee experience tells another. The well-being of the staff directly affects the overall health of the organization. Housekeeping staff, especially in the United States and many other countries, are disproportionately women of color. Historically, these jobs have been undervalued, with limited upward mobility and systemic inequities. The words, "they don't care," were a reflection of a broader reality experienced by millions in service roles globally. Mr. James observed the maid's diligence and her quiet strength. She completed her tasks efficiently, yet her voice revealed the burden carried silently. The physical and emotional labor she performed was immense. Her frustration was not with him as an individual, but with the structures around her. It was a window into the lived experience of those who keep businesses running while remaining largely invisible. This experience forced Mr. James to confront the human side of his empire. Running a hotel chain was not just about profits and occupancy. The real backbone of the business was its employees. Without their dedication, the polished lobbies and luxury amenities would mean nothing. He reflected on company policies. Were they sufficient? Did they genuinely support the workforce? Did employees feel valued, or were they simply tolerated? Observing firsthand provided insights that no boardroom meeting or quarterly report could offer. He saw the tangible impact of corporate decisions on individual lives. After leaving the hotel, Mr. James acted on what he had observed. He initiated changes to improve employee conditions and workplace culture. Measures included increasing wages, enhancing benefits, and providing protective gear and equipment for staff. Scheduling was adjusted to reduce burnout, and channels were introduced for employees to voice concerns directly to management. Recognition programs were implemented, ensuring that praise was meaningful and consistent. The changes were not publicly advertised initially. The focus was on practical, measurable improvements rather than symbolic gestures. Mr. James wanted the policies to reflect genuine care and respect for employees, rather than appearing as a marketing strategy. This story matters because it highlights a common reality in business. A company can succeed financially, yet fail morally if employees are not treated with respect. Employee satisfaction is not merely a nice-to-have. It directly affects productivity, guest satisfaction, and retention. Companies with engaged, supported employees consistently outperform those that neglect workforce well-being. It also matters at a societal level. Service industry jobs are undervalued in many regions, and workers often face systemic inequities. Listening to the words "they don't care" is a reminder of the consequences when management disconnects from the human experience behind the work. Several lessons emerge from this experience. Observation is more valuable than assumption. Policies and reports can mislead. Seeing the reality on the ground provides clarity that statistics cannot. Listening is essential. Employees need to feel heard and understood. Recognition must be paired with action. Policies alone do not create meaningful change. Empathy is not only morally important, but strategically beneficial. Understanding the struggles of employees leads to stronger decision-making, better company culture, and long-term success. Mr. James's undercover visit transformed his approach to management. It demonstrated that even in a world of wealth, luxury, and power, human dignity cannot be ignored. 3 simple words from a black maid, "they don't care," paused him, challenged him, and ultimately motivated action. This story serves as a lesson for business leaders, employees, and viewers alike. It shows the importance of empathy, observation, and meaningful engagement with those who are often unseen. Small voices can carry profound truths, and sometimes the most important lessons come from the least expected sources. Empathy is more than an ideal. It is a strategy, a necessity, and a moral choice. For companies, it strengthens culture and performance. For individuals, it fosters understanding and respect. And occasionally, it takes only 3 words to deliver a wake-up call that changes everything.